What is your name and what is your job?
My name is Treasure Wilson, and I am a registered nurse and a school nurse here at George Guthrie Elementary.
What does your average workday look like?
My average workday is nonstop. Pretty much from the time I get here, there's kids lined up needing different things with their health, either injuries or not feeling well, or then there's also the paper aspect. Have a lot of paperwork comes across my desk. Got a lot of screenings to do. Got to do vision, hearing, scoliosis. We do fluoride stuff throughout the year. And then there's the teacher requests for different things with students. Got to give medications. I mean, it's just non-stop all day long. And there's 70, 80 kids here. So it's a busy day.
What's the best part about your job?
I think the best part is when I can make someone feel better, when I can solve an issue and make them feel better both emotionally or physically. That's the reward right there.
What can the students or staff do to assist you with your job?
I think for health, the biggest thing that everyone can do is to be honest and to take the steps necessary to try to help with, the parents giving maybe over-the-counter medicine to control symptoms so that the kids can function while they're at school, because a lot of that stuff I don't have here. The teachers can kind of triage things. If they can put a Band-Aid on or give a cough drop in the classroom for little minor things, then that's very helpful to me. When the students come in, to be respectful of the nurse's office and sit quietly because there's sick kids in here, and just being honest about their health and not trying to play games and take my time when I don't have any extra time. I think that's the biggest thing.
Thank you for this interview. What is your name and what is your job?
My name is Russell Debs. I'm the day custodian at Guthrie Elementary.
What does an average day at work look like?
I'm here by 6 o'clock in the morning. I get off about 2:30. A lot of messes.
What is the best part of your job?
Dealing with the kids on a daily basis, just getting to interact with them and become one with them.
What could the students or staff do to assist you with your job?
I'd say pick up after themselves, try to keep it as clean as their house, respect their belongings and the area around them.
What is your name and what is your job?
My name is Joan. Most of the kids call me Miss Joan, and I'm a bus driver.
All right. What does an average day look like? What does an average day look like as far as work?
So when I get there, I have to turn all the lights on the bus, make sure all the heaters are working. So each of us really check out our bus in the morning to make sure it's going to drive safely and get you guys to school safely. And then I drive to 3 different schools. I go to Fox High School and Middle School, and then I go to Ridgewood Middle School, and then I come to Guthrie.
What is the best part of your job?
Seeing all the kids smiling when they get on in the morning. I love when people say good morning. We love when you kids say thank you when you get off the bus. Just seeing all the smiles and hearing all the laughs and stuff as you guys go to school.
What could the students and staff do to assist you with your job?
The students could follow all the safety rules, because most of the rules, all of the rules, like sitting bottom to bottom, back to back, all those 5 that you guys do in the afternoon, those are all there just to keep you safe. Like that's the purpose of those rules. So make sure you're not eating, because then if you choke, that could be bad. But the sitting, these seats on the bus, because a lot of people ask, like, why don't we have seat belts? And the seats are designed like a egg carton. Like you get your eggs and all those eggs have their own little space in there. That's what the seats are designed to do. So if you're sitting bottom to bottom and back to back, they keep you safe if something would happen.
Okay, hello. What is your job and name?
My name is Scott Barbagallo, and I am the Director of Facilities for Fox School District.
What does an average day look like as far as work?
Average day, usually start work around 5:30 in the morning, answering emails, giving out job orders from the night before, day before. On a snow day, we typically start at 4 a.m. to check the roads, whether we're going to have school or not that day. And then through the day, pretty much anything can happen. There's no typical day.
What is the best part of your job?
Best part of the job would be seeing projects come up, see them completed, see things improve through the school district.
What could students or staff do to assist you with your job?
Taking pride in their schools. So that would be, you're in the bathroom, someone throws a paper towel on the floor, whether you pick it up or mention to them it's not a good way to treat their school, and just have pride in your building.
Thank you for this interview.
Thank you.
Take one. What does an average day of work look like for you, Steve?
When I come in the morning, first thing I do is I address what was left over from yesterday. So all the machines that were broken and brought back and need to be fixed, we'll take care of that.
Okay.
That takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours,
What
depending
is-
on what's there.
What is the best part of your job?
That every day is different. There's a new problem, a new adventure every day.
Okay. What could students or staff do to assist you with your job?
Be careful with your equipment. Don't drop it. It's just because you don't have to pay for it doesn't mean someone else doesn't. And that would be the best thing. Just be careful with everything you have.
All right.
What is your name and what is your job?
All right, well, my name is Luke H.A.N.D.S, and I am the Director of Technology and Information for the Fox C6 School District. So that's it's about 18 school buildings, and then we have 2 other buildings, so a total of 20 buildings that I get to work with a team of people to make sure everything's working right.
What does an average day look like as far as work?
Average day. An average day, well, there really is no average day in our work. In our work, we kind of have all kinds of different technology that we work with every day, and that's everything from the tablet that you're holding to your teacher's computers to projectors to printers to all kinds of different things. And so we spend a lot of time working through all of those different types of technology, helping out anybody we can when they break, hoping that nobody gets frustrated, and then we also work with a lot of data. So data is basically just the information that goes all over the district for all of the students and staff, and we like to make sure it ends up being sometimes 30,000 different fields of information on just a couple of people. So we get to work a lot with information. So there's really no average day. We kind of have a lot of different days, which is what makes it fun.
So I think you just answered this, but what is the best part of your job?
Best part of my job? Well, I think there's actually 2 best parts of my job, and I don't know if that counts, but one of the best parts of my job is that we get to help people, and we get to help all kinds of students and all kinds of staff, just making sure things are working correctly, making their jobs easier, making your school work easier, hopefully, making all kinds of different things work together to make sure lives are better in all of our schools that we work with. And then the other thing I love about my job is it's all kind of like a puzzle, sometimes almost like a game. You're constantly figuring out why this didn't add up to equal this, or why this didn't work together to make sure that worked. So it's a lot of puzzle figuring out, problem solving. It's another great thing about my job.
What could the students/staff do to assist you with your job?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think probably the best thing that students and staff could do for us is something that sometimes you'll hear called being a good digital citizen. And what that means is that when you're a citizen, you're kind of part of something, right? So you're part of a whole bunch of students and staff in a much bigger world, the United States and beyond, right? When you're hooked up to the internet or whatever. So helping us probably looks a lot like learning about the technology, learning how to use it, learning how to fix the problems when you have problems with it. Sometimes it just means being being nice to people online, and also being safe. We want to make sure that you learn to be safe online and that you're not giving away more information than you should. There's a lot of people that like to steal information these days, and so just learning some of those things would be the greatest help to any technology department.
It sounds like you use math a lot. Did the schools where you went to help you out with this?
Yes, yes. In fact, I did a lot of math. In fact, being part of technology and even designing, I've talked to some students that say, "Oh, I want to work with video games," or "I want to work with, building computers." All of that is going to be part of math. And if you really want to do well in technology, you're going to make sure that you are working through some of those problems, listening to your teachers, and making sure that math is a part of your education moving forward.
Thank you for your interview and have a good day.
What is your name and what is your job?
My name is Miss Colleen, and I am the building secretary.
What does an average day look like as far as work?
As far as work, my day is spent, I usually don't get to travel around the building too much and visit the students, but I do. I sit in the office and the phone rings a lot, and I answer all the phone calls, and I get lots of emails, and I take care of everybody's attendance, and their report cards. I print off the report cards, and I take care of all the money that gets deposited. So some days it's pretty busy, and other days it's a little slower. So just depends. Every day's a little different.
What is the best part of your job?
The best part of my job is probably in the morning when the kids get to come down and get their little birthday treat, or the kids come down for the announcements, because I get to see the kids then, because like I said, I don't get to get around the building very much. So
What could the students/staff do to assist you with your job?
one thing that the students could do is when I buzz into a classroom and I talk to the teachers, if all of the students don't answer and shout, and just let the teacher answer, because when everybody shouts, I don't know if I'm talking to the teacher or if I'm talking to the students, and I need to make sure the teacher's getting the messages that I'm trying to give to her. So that would be one great way, is if the students would just let the teachers respond. That would be awesome.
What is your name and what is your job?
My name is Mrs. Lauco, and my official title is Diagnostic Secretary, but I think it should be Diagnostic Secretary/Detective, because I always have to hunt down a lot of information, do some detective work.
What does an average day look like as far as work?
I do a lot of different things, a lot of paperwork. I'm in charge of all of the student files. So when we get a new student, I have to contact their old school, or sometimes previous schools if they've gone to more than one, track down all of their records so that we have copies of everything, their grades and their attendance, and any MAP testing scores or any other testing scores that they have. We want to make sure that we have all that information too. And then the same goes when we lose a student, when we have a student transfer to another school. I have to copy all of their records that we have in our files and send them on to their next school. I do a lot of reports, and sometimes I got to do some tracking down of information for those reports too, to make sure that I have everything that I need in the report. And sometimes I also I have to check other people's work to make sure that there's no mistakes in their reports, make sure that everything's correct before that it gets turned in. I have first grade recess duty every day, so I'm with the first graders outside. And then I cover for Miss Colleen when she goes to lunch every day, so I'm up there answering phones and letting people into the building. I do the Reach Kids on Friday. Every Friday they come down and I make sure that they're all here. I take attendance and then I get them on the Reach bus. And then I also help out with our Guffey Character Council.
What is the best part of your job?
I just love the whole Guffey environment. I think it's just a wonderful place to work. I feel respected and supported by my peers, the people that I work with, as well as my superiors, Ms. Fritz and Mrs. Waller. I love being with the students, and I've had the privilege of watching them grow up, because I worked as a substitute teacher here for 6 years, and then I did pre-K summer school for 5 summers. So some of them I have known since they walked in the first day of pre-K, and now they're in 6th grade, and it's just really cool to see how they've blossomed and matured. And it's kind of exciting to think about what they're going to do once they leave the halls of Guffey.
What could the students slash staff do to assist you with your job?
I think that if everybody just made an effort to come to school every day with a good attitude and ready to learn, that would be awesome.
Okay.
What is your name and what is your job?
My name is Michelle Smith, and I am the building aide at Guffey Elementary in the Fox School District.
What does an average day of work look like?
There is no average day. It's just like life. Sometimes things go smoother and sometimes they don't, but they all work out in the end.
What is the best part of your job?
The kids. I like helping the kids. I like listening to the kids. I enjoy the kids.
What could students or staff do to assist you in the doing of your job?
Just the kids, be nice to each other, be kind to each other, do what you're supposed to do, and then people wouldn't get their feelings hurt and things would just go a lot nicer.
What is your name? What is your name and what is your job?
My name is Inger Krieg, and I'm the kitchen manager at Guffey Elementary.
What does an average day look like as far as work?
When I first come in, I have to grab a cup of coffee or I wouldn't be the very nicest of people. So I do that first, and then I have to start doing paperwork from the day before. And then after that, we do breakfast, which involves making sure there's enough milk in the milk box and grabbing the milk and starting up the computer down there, and then I bring kids in for breakfast. Then after breakfast, I count all the milk that we've used. And then we start looking at more paperwork that I didn't get done already. And then a couple times a week I have to do orders. And then I have to, on Thursdays, during lunchtime, we get our deliveries. So we do lunch every day. I do lunch every day. I'm the backup person. That means whatever goes in the oven, it's my job. And then on Thursdays, like today, I will have to put away frozen stuff in the midst of doing that. And then after lunch, I do more paperwork. Half my job is feeding children, half my job is doing paperwork to show the government how we fed.
What's the best part of your job?
I think every day it's different. There's a different menu every day. There's different kids coming in to eat every day. I like the change of that.
What could students or staff do to assist you with your job?
Number one, I think if they're polite to each other and they wait patiently and learn their PIN numbers early.